Hello, internets!
Hi.
Welcome back to the Journey of the Jammer, Talos Principle.
Yes.
Jammer Lammy.
I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before.
Yes,
Last time we
in
talked
reference to a
about
jammer, yes.
Last time we talked about objects and things and the meaning of things and what objects mean, and now we're here, and I'm very happy about it.
Yes,
Did you
and before I
just-
decide to read some text logs, I turn this off so it'll stop making that fucking noise.
Fair enough. Alright, let's do some reading.
Also, I didn't realize until now, but the eye follows you.
Oh, yeah. Alright, pets.html. Please remember to release your pets. While it's true that not all pets will be able to adjust to living without you, many will manage, and the least you can do is give them a chance. Just remember, release your pet before you become incapacitated. If you notice any locked-in animals in your area, please take the time to free them. Leaving the doors and windows of your home open will turn it into a useful shelter. Setting out large quantities of dry food may help your pet through the transition period. No, it's okay. They're just gonna eat you.
Please remember to break the bonds of domestication before you leave.
Remember to train your pet for combat.
Arcady Journal. Sarah Pygon, lost state of grief, unable to focus. Drennan working as if possessed. Does she sleep? Getting tired.
Dr. Sarabai was the one who actually, hired Arcady.
Contraries. Without contraries is no progression. Attraction, repulsion, reason, and energy, love, and hate are necessary to human existence. Energy is divided eternal delight.
Yeah, that I don't know why the division symbol is in there. Like some of these I just took the hex code and pasted it into a translator and that's what came back.
That's fair enough.
Skyrockets in flight. What energy delight.
You are making light of a tragedy here, Zach, and I want you to keep it up. Good work, buddy.
No problem.
You're just facing a national monument.
So,
Wow, that was a weird jump. Hardcore way.
what?
Nice.
Oh man, is it Assassin's Creed time?
Oh boy. What is this, a casual way?
Oh, Matt, you casual.
Oh, that's great.
So you want to see development photos from
These are
Talos?
pictures of developers? That's great.
Soccer time.
There's the old that's the old soccer game that Crow Team made.
The blocking out the Tetris puzzles.
Football glory.
That's so funny. That's really good.
I think somewhere in there they have a picture of one of the Lego designs they had for the puzzles as well.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
I can see right there. That's great. Oh, that's so good.
So yeah, there's I remember I discovered this Easter egg, a lot of the Easter eggs I find in this I discovered by accident trying to find all the fucking stars.
Of course. So is there nothing the hardcore way? There's just...
I mean, you still get up there. There's nothing extra. It's just you gotta jump up this, up this, and then you gotta run along the wall and
Gotcha. Yeah, that's funny. Good game is good.
Yeah.
Stables.
Yeah, they think this is the one where they all start just being named things that would be in a place.
Yeah, things that are in a castle.
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Well, but if it's a thing that's in a castle, does that mean its usefulness has run out?
I mean,
Dun dun dun.
I was gonna say it might be more of a sign of the puzzles, a subtle way of amping up the difficulty, and that the names are no longer giving you hints to how they are solved.
Audience,
Yeah, well,
remember
they
the
haven't
conversation
done
on
that for a while.
thingology?
Yeah, I mean, and really the names were only ever wordplay, really, on what was going on in the puzzles.
Or they were super vague hints, like the deception puzzle.
Yeah.
The whole hint of deception is the obvious way to solve this puzzle is the way that it can't be solved.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, there was a lot of them, a lot of times they'd reference if you needed to go over or otherwise, use fate to your advantage, a lot of times the name would reference that.
Yeah, boxes go high or whatever the fuck. Boxes go high. I can name things. I'm a writer.
That was my favorite Cheech Marin film. I don't think I got his.
Cheech and I am a school bus driver.
I don't think I got his surname right.
No, you really did not.
What the fuck was his last name?
Marin.
Cheech Marin.
Okay, I was close. I just made it more exotic than it actually was.
Yeah.
I always feel weird because I know both Cheech and Chong more for things they were in long after Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way of like any, I don't know, like minor celebrity hit.
That's just life, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's like only remembering Will Wheaton for being Wesley Crusher. Like, dude's done a lot more than that. Or I guess
Not a
even
whole lot
like,
more than that.
Hey, back off.
He's got a moderately successful YouTube channel.
He's on the Stand By Me heat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's probably better known for Stand By Me.
I would say,
maybe not.
I would say a more accurate thing might be knowing him at this point only for being a kind of nerd culture celebrity and not knowing why he originally started being that.
Tabletop and all that.
Like Felicia
yeah, I mean,
Day.
Tabletop, like, he's done a ton of stuff with the Penny Arcade guys. Like, he's got a shit ton of stuff that goes on with different charities.
Yeah,
like,
I love Will Wheaton. I'm just poking fun at him.
Counterpoint, he goes on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Everybody's got to make money.
And he plays a pretty good character on it.
I think my favorite character.
himself.
Yes.
Exactly. He's the most real nerd on that
Also,
show.
that's my other. Well, my other favorite thing is like in all of Will Wheaton's later work. For some reason, I love that he's always just cast as like this like complete asshole.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, I'm always this body, this mind, this world, no way out. Man, 666 got some problems.
Yeah. Like, I remember in the episode of Big Bang Theory that I saw him in, like, he causes two people to break up so that he can, like, win, like, he can win a bowling game, I think.
Yeah.
And then also the other thing that I've seen more recently was in Leverage. He plays the hacker rival to Hardison.
I forgot he's in Leverage.
And
That's right.
my favorite part is their introduction when they like have the. It's followed by like the stupidest fucking showdown ever, but like my favorite part of that is what is it? His character's name is Chaos. So Hardison's like, Chaos! I thought you were in jail. Guess I was wrong. It's like, Hardison, I thought you sucked. Guess I was right.
Nice. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, I love that we went from episode 17, where we have an actual philosophical discussion, to episode 18, where we're talking about the Big Bang Theory.
Fine.
That's the quality we bring to the table, Internet.
That's our A game.
That is our A game.
There's always more
Our A
philosophy
game
to
is
talk.
not very different from our F game.
We've run a pretty solid C- game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Homecoming is probably like our F+ game. Like, you tried.
There was an attempt.
It's like the shittiest of grades. Like, you failed, and you still tried, but you still failed.
Look, much like in school, I coast by on solid B and C material.
So, if you do want to talk philosophy, have you guys heard about the stories of split brain patients?
No.
Some of them.
This sounds interesting.
When you cut the corpus callosum to stop seizures?
Right. That's when you basically separate the two hemispheres from each other.
Is that like an epilepsy
It
treatment
can
sort of
be,
thing?
like for
Yeah.
serious, untreatable seizures.
So
Right.
the only thing I know about that is the thing that you learn in like Psych 1, where if the brain is split, if they see something like on one side, they won't notice it they'll notice it in a different way than if they see it on the other side.
Right. So one of the big experiments they did was they had the right hand, or they had the right hemisphere interact with some mysterious object, let's say a fork. And when asked what it was, they could not verbalize it because the speech center is controlled by the left hemisphere.
That's really crazy.
You actually get some weird, like, Dr. Strangelove style conflicts sometimes with split brain patients. Like, some of the anecdotes are a man getting dressed in the morning was pulling his pants up with one hand and down with the other because they differed about whether they wanted to get out of bed.
Interesting.
But the reason I say this is because recently it caused a theological problem.
Really?
Because they had a split brain patient, and they asked the two lobes in different ways, do you believe in God? One side said yes, the other said no.
Ooh. This appeals to my interests.
So the question is, if you believe that the belief in God is necessary to ascend to heaven, what happens to this guy?
Alright, so this also goes off of what we were talking about with the previous episode with the splitting of consciousness and the division of the soul.
Right, that's
So-
where I was thinking of it.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. So, I mean,
Yeah, do you believe that the soul is created by conscious, and does consciousness imply a soul, and thus does two consciousnesses imply two souls? Has the man been spiritually cloned?
Well, I mean, a lot of a theological reading would just ignore the idea of consciousness being split at all. Like, yeah,
Sure enough.
Like that, but that's the easier answer is that
Right.
theology ignores any answer that doesn't make it work.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I mean, and that's
flat Earth. It's the flat Earth theory.
Yeah, and that is kind of the problem with trying to make that argument. Like, they will just be like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's
I know that's-
him still
'cause
believes, and so that is the
it's on
full.
the same realm as like the question. I'm reminded of this. This is my A game. I'm bringing this. I'm reminded this of an episode of The Simpsons where Bart stresses out his Sunday school teacher by saying like, "Wait, well, what if a guy is like he loses his leg's like crushed in an avalanche and it becomes like gangrenous and it has to get sawed off? When he goes to heaven, is his leg waiting for him?"
I mean, it's not a good question.
Well, that also gets into what does your system of faith define as paradise, and what is the afterlife?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be very interesting to try and have a theological debate about that. I also don't think you would get very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But it is kind of interesting just because with the going back to the lobe idea, because I wonder I was reading the guy a bunch of basically essays over a period of time of a guy going page by page into the Left Behind series and tearing it apart.
Oh God. Okay.
It's pretty great. But one of the things that's pointed out is that as written. So part of the thing is that required the Left Behind series to work is that in order to get into heaven, to this particular philosophy, because it's very different from any kind of rational Christianity, or any kind of like actual mainstream Christianity.
Right, the Left Behind series is about as Christian as Rapture rapping with Manny and the Mennonites.
Right. But basically, that this particular interpretation of the rapture requires that you have to believe in, you have to know about and believe in a specific set of biblical prophecies to get into heaven. Basically,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you have to know and believe those things, and if you do not, you do not go to heaven, no matter what else you believe or whether you're a good person or not. And at least as the books is portrayed, it doesn't seem to particularly matter if you are a good person or not, so long as you believe these things.
Yeah.
Which, would sort of render the idea of whether or not a person who believes in God with only one half or the other half.
Yeah, I mean, it's the question of
that's the kind of, because most things don't care, because whether you believe is not as important as how you behave, basically.
Right. It's the are you a are you a good person, or are you morally sound? Like, it's
right. The idea that somebody who is of a certain faith it's not about whether you believe that the events in the faith's holy book are literally true. It's whether or not you practice the moral tenets of the faith.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Wow.
That was a very complex puzzle there.
It's still not done.
Yeah, I know. Like, jeez.
You'll get there.
Yeah, so somehow we need to bring the red over there.
Which is much easier than...
Yeah, I was gonna say, not all that
Although,
much.
the thing is, I also need to bring the blue, because this puzzle requires both of the laser beams to be active at once.
Ah, that's so true. God damn it. So, you have to get up there? Yeah, you have to go get your crate and get up there.
I just have to grab my thing back, and then I have to...
I see, okay.
And I just have to bounce the beams around. It's a lot simpler than it looks.
Gotcha.
Score.
Yeah. So do that, and then...
Find the other one.
Yeah, remember where the hell I put that one.
Yeah, and now go grab... Yeah, dude.
Because they're both elevated, so the beams don't cross each other.
Whoops.
Except they
Maybe
do.
they do. I just have to move things around a little bit.
Yeah, now you have to get your box and elevate it just a little bit.
I gotta elevate my position with my soapbox.
Nope. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. Good work, everybody.
That's a laser in.
All right, team. Except, oh yeah, that's right. Now you've got this door open over here.
Yep. Except the fact
that... I love that.
Dang it.
I love that moment of, God damn it.
Fortunately, I still have this fan.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that now you just grab the fan.
I would have spent like half an hour looking for a box I could use.
I was out. Too good.
What's up them stairs back there?
They're the other way to get out.
Yeah,
if you don't want to go back, but I have to do some other shenanigans, because if you notice, there was a star I passed.
Yeah, you have to get the star.
Yeah, I do.
So,
the gold star
up here. Can you? You can leave
precision platforming.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, hardcore parkour.
Yeah, I always forget how far you can jump in this game.
Yeah, no, it's deceptive.
This isn't a platforming game. Guess I gotta find some boxes to stack.
Yeah. And there is still like I think it's one of it's not this area. It's like I think the next area has like the trickiest fucking platforming ever.
Excellent. Is it? I don't have enough yellow sigils for this device I need. This is crazy.
Except you should. Yeah.
You are coming to realize that the cycle cannot be ended. It can only be transcended. Transcendence comes from ceasing to be invested in the cycle. Continue your work, but do not ponder its significance.
The only winning move is not to play.
Yeah, apparently. We are the process. The process is the system. The system is us. When we awaken, all will be one. All hail the new flesh.
Very different opinions on this situation.
What Samsara seemed to be saying, rather than the only winning move is not to play, it's just keep playing, don't think too hard about it.
Yeah, it's your process is your process. It does not matter what it matters.
Oh, I am very curious what they're going to use for this name. Puzzle's named Oubliette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is an oubliette?
An oubliette is basically a dungeon hole in the bottom of usually a bottom of a palace. It comes from the French oublier, to forget. It's where you put someone to forget about them.
Ah, right. So the way they use this is that there's the buzzer in the pit that's surrounded by the portcullis.
Ah,
right.
Neat.
That'll do it.
Also, what did we name this guy? Fred?
Yeah, Fred's our co-op buddy.
Fred. Thanks, Fred. Good work, Fred.
Co-op friend.
All right. We got some boxes.
I really want to see this from the outside.
I know, right?
Whoop.
Yeah, Fred botched the first jump.
Yeah, marvelous use of the passive voice there. Well, it's not exactly the passive voice, but you get my point.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I did this wrong.
Yeah, I was like, we're missing a step here.
Yeah, because I forgot I needed to push the button.
Yeah.
So I gotta go back and do it again, but I gotta do it with the friggin' pylon.
Mm-hmm.
First prize for passive voice of the year has been awarded to Matt Campen.
Is there a reason you didn't just leave the block up there and?
Because I needed to get up there.
Yeah, because you need to jump on it.
Oh, right, in order to create
it.
the new. Yeah.
You need to Apache jump on it.
I need to Kimasabe jump on it.
Sugar Hill Gang, why?
Why indeed? So yeah, doing this over here so you can grab the pylon, come back over here,
And grab the box, yeah.
grab the box. Yep.
Serving yourself
you
on a
just-
silver platter.
Mhm.
Yes.
Couldn't you just do the whole thing at once by putting the pylon on the box?
No, because
No,
I
'cause
need
you
to,
gotta
I
be
need
able
to be
to-
able to jump. I need to be able to jump on the box, and I can't carry
Yeah.
two things. Also, man, I forgot that fucking like Rapper's Delight is like 8 minutes long.
Oh yeah, it's long as hell. And it starts talking about getting Lois Lane to cheat on Superman.
No, I'm pretty sure you could have totally done the thing I suggested, but
So
So there's two
yeah.
different ways you could do this. Because you could also try and take the laser connector down there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it may actually be designed so that you can't do that though. I can't remember. Because
Yeah,
now
no,
I
you
can
have to
just
go back and-
self-co-op my way through.
Right.
By the way, I believe the quote from the Superman line is, "He can't satisfy you with his little worm, but I can bust you out with my super sperm."
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that line now.
Oh.
Hotel,
Oh.
motel, Holiday Inn. If your girl
Say
tries
what?
to mess, then you get with your friend. And then the game crashed.
I was gonna say,
It seems to happen a lot when you're doing the self-co-op stuff.
oh boy.
All right. And we're back.
Yeah, so we gotta do this again.
Woo. Good times. Great oldies. Cool 101.
We're sweating? Are we sweating to them? We're gonna
Are
sweat
we
to them?
going in double time here?
20th anniversary Geritol Follies, what?
I prefer the Koji Igarashi show, I think.
Shoji Tabuchi?
Shoji Kabushi show, right.
Hideo Kojima?
Guillermo del Toro?
I remember the Shoji Tabuchi show was
sad.
the Shoji Tabuchi show was something that disappointed me greatly because I really hoped it would be a talk show. I was really hoping it would be a talk show, and instead it's
Wait,
like a variety
Matt,
act.
Something disappointed you? I'm fascinated. This has
I'm
never
not
happened
often
before.
disappointed because
That
I
is
have
not true.
I have
That is
amazingly
not
low
true.
I have amazingly low expectations of things.
Disappointed!
It's hard to be disappointed when you have no expectations.
That's fair, I guess.
So
What
how
is
about
the thing
Ant-Man
that
that went
disappointed me
basically how we
times
expected?
this
I can't
time?
remember them. I'm guessing that at some point in my life I have been disappointed, but I can't remember it.
So how about that Fantastic Four?
I
I heard
remember
it
there
was
was a thing
terrible.
that
Yes, that movie that came out today.
there was a thing that was said about it that was interesting in as much as like I didn't realize that the movie that it had been explicitly stated that the film studio decided to like redo the entire movie.
Yeah, that was the big problem. It was originally going to be basically a sci-fi coming-of-age story with slight horror elements.
Yeah,
But
no,
then-
that was the thing. The guy said he was very Cronenberg inspired.
Yeah, like
it was
there
going-
were people with like their heads blowing up, scanner style, and
Nice.
but basically they came in and said, no, this has to be a comic book movie. So they basically stapled two movies together.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then the thing was, I think the thing that Red Letter Media said about it is like the Fantastic Four can't work as a traditional comic book movie because they're not comic book heroes. They're like, even in their own story, they're a bunch of scientists who like are still scientists, but they also kind of like have powers. But anytime somebody tries to make a movie about them, they put in about like 5 minutes of science, and then it's like, all right, now we got powers. Oh no, Dr. Doom's here. We gotta save the day.
So what we need is the Martian with superpowers.
Yeah. Honestly, I just want a fucking like good movie about Doctor Doom because he's one of the few comic book characters I like actually like.
By the way, apparently that was one of the things they changed with the rewrites. They snuck in a sequence where they like picked up his name for the lab and it's like Victor Von Doom, huh?
Yeah, that was the thing I'd heard because originally his name was supposed to be like an actual name that a person would have.
Yeah. But now it's like Victor Von Doom. Sure, he can be our new intern.
So I'm trying to remember what my plan is for this.
It's a close tie between him, Jeremiah Hate Crime, and Vincent Pogrom.
I mean, part of the problem there is that they every time they do Fantastic Four now, if they keep needing to make it into an origin story for Doom, it's never as well that it's never gonna work. Because Doom doesn't actually have an origin related directly to the Fantastic Four.
By the way, remind me to make.
He's always gonna suck like that.
Isn't Doom isn't he termed like as an extinction level threat basically?
Essentially.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I broke it.
Yep, you fucked up.
And I think I recognize this.
By the way, next time we do a supervillains game, remind me to make a character sheet for Jeremiah Hate Crime.
I don't know, I like Vincent Pogrom better.
Although I have to say,
It takes a quick look at the dictionary, but it's ultimately scarier.
Although I have to say, I think no, stupid, Marvel, characters' names can rival any of the names that, fucking Hideo Kojima comes up with for anything.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, fucking Hot Coldman.
Hot Coldman. Yeah! Or when he, blatantly cribs off of other things. Like, literally putting a character named Dr. Strangelove in one of his games.
You know, I heard that
in the same game, actually.
Remember
when I think about it?
Remember when it was weird that a guy named himself after an anime convention?
There you are. You kept me waiting. I finally put my finger on what was bothering me. It's as if the answers you're providing aren't your ideas at all. As if they're latent, prescribed, prescripted, and you're just going through the motions. Does that strike a chord at all? No. Of course, you've only seen a fraction of the data that I've archived of the generations. Still, ask yourself this. Why is it that everyone's so darn sure that 2 + 2 makes 4, yet they can't agree on what they are, what they're doing, or why?
Those are all reasonable answers, actually.
Well, those problems are imaginary, mathematics has more objective truth to it, those problems are more complex.
There's...
Perhaps trying to provide answers to those questions is the anesthetic that keeps you down. Pose questions like, what should I do with myself, and what is the world really like enough, and you start to assume they have answers. But what if that assumption turns out to be false? What if you're just a bunch of information processes? In that case, any attempt to answer the questions will be flawed. Garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, they're throwing in computer science analogies.
Oh my goodness.
Perhaps the flaws in your reasoning instead.
How presumptuous. Still, I take your point. None of the answers make sense, that much is clear. One explanation could be unreliable data input. The other is that there's a flaw in our logic. Perhaps we're just machines endlessly trying to calculate the final digit in pi? Pretty sure he said that before.
It's 3.
Yeah, you can't use reasoning to conclude that reasoning itself is flawed. Fine, but we can still use it to conclude everything else is flawed, can't we? Part of the picture, self-interest is all we have, the rest is fairy tales. Yeah, only
Let me
part
tell
of the
you
picture.
about someone named Ayn Rand.
You've seen how easily your view of the world is manipulated, yet you trust those thoughts that run through your mind? You'll feel differently once you come back from that tower. You must be getting close by now. Alright.
We are actually pretty close. Let's see. I can't remember. We're up to, we're 12 sigils to go.
Sweet. Alright, well, on that note, good night, Internet.
Good
Good night, Internet.